Okay, guys, I found my PowerPoint and I just thought I would record this for you really quickly. So, the case is the blue bus case. So, say you have a hypothetical liability case where the plaintiff is hit by a bus. So, there's been an accident and a bus was involved. The bus was at fault anyway, you know that, but you don't know which company. Then you find out that the blue bus company runs 80% of bus traffic volume, which suggests fault. So the relevant rule of civil litigation is the preponderance of evidence standard, which requires that a claim is more likely true than not, typically quantified as greater than 50% likelihood that the litigated facts obtain. And the problem here is that courts endorse this rule and they refuse to rule in favor of the plaintiff in cases like plaintiff versus the Blue Bus Company. So the suits based on naked statistics like this are thrown out by summary judgment. And the question is why? There's a kind of so one theory is that there's a mismatch between subjective and objective probabilities. So people are just not thinking about probability accurately. So they learn the objective probability, but they think about it in subjective terms. So this psychologist Wells studied this suggestion, and he did a study where subjects were asked for a verdict on a variation of the blue bus case. Condition one gets naked statistical evidence, right? They find out that the Blue Bus Company runs 80% of buses. And then subjects in condition two get an eyewitness who says, the bus I saw was blue, or the bus was blue, I saw it. And then the eyewitness is tested. This is more information that condition two gets. And he's wrong 20% of the time. And what they found was, so the idea is the statistical likelihood of the eyewitness being correct is the same of the statistical likelihood of the bus being blue, just in virtue of the number of buses. And what they found was that there's no difference in estimated probability that the Blue Bus Company caused the death. So 85% of people in condition 1 and 80% of people in condition 2 reported a zero point 0.8 probability. So the mismatch between subjective and objective probability isn't doing the work, but there were still profound differences in verdict. So 8.2% of people in condition 1, where they just had mathematical information about the number of buses, gave a liability verdict or were willing to think that they would give such a verdict. And 67% who heard from an eyewitness were willing to give a liability verdict. So this implies there's not a gap between subjective and objective probabilities. And the question is, what's going on here? And you can see how this is relevant to some of the stuff that you're talking about, I think. Anyway, here's the thing that I got totally wrong. I knew I was making a mistake, so Wayne, very good catching me on that. So this is the prison yard case. 100 prisoners exercise in the prison yard. 99 prisoners together initiate a premeditated attack on a guard. Security footage reveals one prisoner standing against the wall refusing to participate. There's no evidence indicating who refused to participate. The prison officials decide that since for each prisoner it's a 99% likelihood that they are guilty, they have adequate evidence to successfully prosecute individual prisoners for assault, because 99% is actually higher odds than the very stringent standard for such proceedings. And almost no one will convict on this because naked statistical evidence is not taken as significant enough or good enough evidence. And often first-person evidence that we know is more fallible than this 99% likelihood. Often that evidence will be used to convict. So it's an interesting puzzle, and there's a huge literature on it. Okay, guys, cheers.